wrap up. Users can edit a user story. Let's go. All right, I'm a little too jazzed right now. But now we want to edit our user story description, okay? So we should actually be all set on the back end, and the reason is because we will have the field either be name or description, and the field within the entity is name or description. So it should be able to edit it for us, okay? That's what's kind of nice about the way that we set it up. So I'm actually going to close out of all of the back end stuff, and I'm going to just focus on the description. So I'm going to need to first have a state here. We're going to say story description, set story description. We're going to use state description. Okay. Then we are going to, let's go ahead and change this to onChange name. And let's copy and paste it, and let's say onChange description, set story description. Okay. It's going to break it because now we don't have onChange anymore, but we can go ahead and write onChange name here. Okay. All right. Then within our panel, okay, so we're going to open our panel, and within our panel, within our description box, so panel, okay, and then we have our description box. This is where we're going to add our logic for our update story or update description, okay? So I'm going to say const update story description, set update story description, and we're going to say equals use state false, okay? Then I will go down and find that again here, and I am going to say that if update story description is true, then I want to show the input from here, okay? And let's put it in a box. Actually, I was gonna try to copy and paste more, but we're just gonna do it iteratively. All right, and if it's false, then we'll show the box, okay? We have no way of changing it to true or false, so it's just gonna show this right here, okay? We need to add the edit icon then, okay? So we're gonna add this. All right. And that is going to be within the panel. So I'm gonna add it like that, okay? And I am going to put a box around it, so that way we can say display is flex to get them lined up, and then let's say I'm a little bit nervous to align items because I don't want, if this like ends up being super long and wrapping around and stuff like that, I don't want to worry about that. So we are going to put flex 1 here. All right, and then I'm going to take out the padding 4 there, and I'm going to add the padding equals 4 here instead. And you know what? I might as well. So let's just do align items center, and we can always go back and change it if it's too long. Okay? So I think that looks pretty good. Let's take a look at our design. It does look like in our design it's like closer to there, but I think that's okay. And I also think I want to do more padding. So I think for X, padding 4 is fine, but for Y, I want to do something more like 10 to give it a little bit more of a substantial, okay. this is now like my user story description. That looks good. All right. Perfect. So now I can edit it. But clicking on this button isn't really gonna do anything because it corresponds to the story right now. Oops, and we're signed out. So let's go back. All right. So we want to not do on-click edit. We want to change that. Okay, so this is going to be on-click edit name. And then let's do on-click edit description. Now, could we pass in a prop for any of these? Yes, but this is just going to be so much quicker. So I'm not going to worry about it. All right. So when we click on here, we're going to say on click edit description. All right, let's go up here. We are going to click on click edit name. Okay, so let's open it up. If I click here, it's going to click the name. And then if I click here, it's going to click I can edit description. But you can see that I have an issue because it's giving me the value for story name, and we don't want that. We want story description. Perfect. And we want on change. We want on change description. Okay. So now in the icon button, what we can do is we can say if update story description is true, then we actually want the check icon. If update story description is false, we want the perfect, okay? And then we're going to do the same thing here, where we're going to say update story description. If that's true, we want to call this function here, update story. Where are we going? Okay. And we're going to update the story with the description as our field and the story description as our value. Okay, so let's go ahead and give it a try. I'm gonna just add a couple exclamation points and set. All right. Let's refresh the page. Let's take a look. And it did save it. The issue then is we need to set, we're going to say set update story description to false here too. Okay, so let's do this one. It's so fun. Perfect. Okay, and let's refresh. Let's open her up. There we go. I think it looks really good. Okay, so we have made it so we can edit our description. I'm gonna kind of put a bunch of this here, see what this ends up looking like if I do a lot. Okay, and so it's just going to add extra lines, and then it's gonna center the button, which I don't think is bad, but we can kind of figure that out. We might be able to truncate it. We'll just have to play around with it a little bit more in the future. But now we can go ahead and we can say, I can't wait to get started on this one. And it will edit. Perfect. And then our user story description has been updated. Okay, so we have our edit icon, we have our on change functions, and we have our on submit functions. And users can now officially edit a user story. Perfect. We can now move on to our final two user stories in the next video. See you later.